Truth is that the majority of you guys watching this will never touch $10,000 a month online. That's not because you're too lazy. It's not because you're not smart enough. It is simply because you have spent too much time following the wrong business models. Now, guys, I am not the smartest person in the world, but I am 17 years old and I'm sat in my AMG that I bought in cash with my own money. I didn't borrow any money. It was all my own hard-earned money. I did over $100,000 in a single month, and today what I'm going to be sharing with you guys is a full 90-day game plan on exactly how you can go from where you are right now, probably making no money online, probably working a job you hate, to making your first $10,000 online. We are going to be mapping out a full 90-day game plan, and if you stick to the end of this video, you will know exactly how you can make your first $10,000 online. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I'll see you guys there. All right, today you guys are going to learn exactly how you are going to make your first $10,000 online in the next 90 days. Now, here is the truth about making money online, guys. 99% of online business models in today's day and age are just a bunch of bullshit. I swear that they're just making up more and more stuff every single day at this point. A lot of them, they might work, but there are so many things that make all these business models not necessarily beginner friendly. For example, with dropshipping, you need a lot of upfront capital to make that work. With affiliate marketing, you need an audience for that to work. With FBA, look on Amazon Marketplace, there is so much competition. And then with coaching, you obviously need the experience to actually get high paying clients. Here is the thing with digital marketing and SMMA, guys. You don't need any of that stuff. It is the fastest beginner model. You can learn the skill set and get straight into making money within the first month. So this is how we are going to do that. Here is why digital marketing is actually, different from all the other business models. It requires a low startup cost. It requires a very simple skill set. It has real business demand. So all these local businesses, online businesses, all need marketing to actually survive. And then the clients are all high ticket. They're all paying you $1,000, $2,000 per month. And you can actually sell the service before you actually deliver the service. This is the beauty of digital marketing, guys. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how we can make $10,000 a month in the next 90 days with it. Now, here is one part that way too many people overlook as far as actually making money online goes. They miss the key piece of mastering your self-development. Here is the thing, bro. Your business will not fail you. You will fail yourself. You see, on the left is me when I was making no money online. You want to guess when that was? That was at the end of 2023. Yes, I was smoking weed at the end of 2023. I wasn't making any money online, even though I had already tried dropshipping. I'd already tried affiliate marketing. I tried all these business models and I had no self-accountability. I blamed it all on the business model. I was like, oh, dropshipping doesn't work because it's a shit business model. The reality is, bro, no matter what business model you get into, the only reason you will fail is because you'll fail yourself. Your business will never fail you. Please understand that. The only difference between nothing working back then and everything seeming to work now is because I mastered my self-development. If you master your self-development, you will make the money. Trust me on that one. Now, as far as mastering your self-development goes, we need to actually break that down and actually talk about the traits you need to develop in order to actually master your self-development and, make this $10,000 a month online. We're going to be talking about the key traits required to actually succeed within specifically digital marketing. First thing is discipline and obsession. You need these things in every single business model you do. No matter what business model you do, just an overall rule of thumb for life is to be disciplined, be obsessed with what you're doing, and to be consistent. But one very key thing that I found personally I needed to develop to actually succeed in SMMA was rejection tolerance. Because you're going to have to get used to and accept the fact that a lot of people are going to say no to you. You're going to have to be okay with 40, 50 people saying no to you. You're going to have to get used to people saying no to you every single day. You know, I am a lot more privileged than a lot of children. You know, I was obviously not rich by any means. I wasn't making any money. My parents didn't give me any handouts, but I never struggled. You know, if I really wanted something and I asked for it, I could do a couple things and I'd get it. So one thing I really had to nail in my head was I had to get used to people actually saying no to me and being okay with that. Not getting defensive, not letting your ego start talking. That is one very important thing you need to develop if you want to succeed in digital marketing. And that is really something that comes with practice. You know, if people say no to you enough times, you're going to get used to them saying no. So rejection tolerance, discipline, obsession, consistency, and delayed gratification. As far as delayed gratification goes, I know it's a very talked about term in online business, but what does that actually mean as far as digital marketing goes? Well, I'll explain that to you guys really quickly. Delayed gratification is very simple. I have a client in the Apex. His name's Solomon. He made no money in the first 2 months. In his 4th month, he hit $10,000 in the month. Think about that. Delayed gratification is doing the hard work now that is going to reward you later. And even though it's not giving you anything now, the whole concept of instant gratification works around the fact that you're chasing a feeling of pleasure now. Solomon had to deal with 2 months of getting nothing, almost giving up multiple times, but he stuck with it. The whole concept of delayed gratification is do what isn't rewarding now that you know is going to reward you exponentially in the future. Because had he have stayed doom scrolling, given up on the business, yeah, it would have felt better in the moment. But the reward of making $10,000 a month, I can tell you right now, exponentially outweighs the doom scrolling, no matter how much doom scrolling you do, right? So keep in mind of that. Now, one thing I want to express to you guys, and what I suggest you guys should go ahead with, is the 90-day rule. Now, I made this rule up myself, but it works very well for multiple reasons. The 90-day rule simply means it's like 75 hard, for example. I'm sure you guys know a lot about 75 hard, right? The whole concept of the 90-day rule is I want you to just fully lock in just for 90 days. Stop doom scrolling, remove your bad habits, don't play any video games, remove all that destructive shit from your life for just 90 days, bro. After 90 days, you can go back to doing exactly what you want. Go back to playing video games. Go back to being a complete degenerate. You can do that after 90 days, but just promise me for 90 straight days, you're not going to watch porn. You're not going to play video games. You're actually going to lock in for 90 days. Promise me that. You can do whatever the hell you want after that 90 days is over. The reason this works so well is because if you trick your brain every day within these 90 days that after those 90 days end, you can just go back to being a degenerate, you are going to realize that you are so much more happier when you're actually executing and actually doing work than how happy you were when you were just staying stagnant, when you were just playing video games, watching porn. After 90 days, you'll realize that you feel so much more fulfilled actually doing work over playing video games. That's why the 90-day rule works so hard. If you want to go be a degenerate after 90 days, go ahead. But promise me for these next 90 days, you are going to lock in and we're going to make that $10,000. After you make that $10,000, I don't know if you're going to want to be a degenerate, bro. Truth be told. So here, now that we've talked about you actually locking in for the next 90 days, we're going to move on. $10,000 game plan. This is going to be a step-by-step timeline, what you are going to do every single day for the next 90 days to make your first $10,000 online. Let's get straight into it. Now, the first step, this is what we're going to do for the first week. In the first week, I want you to gain a fundamental understanding of how digital marketing works, how SMMA works, and the actual service delivery side of things. What are you actually doing for businesses? So I have talked very briefly about it here, but I do have a 4.5-hour free course that I will link in the bio of this video that you guys can go ahead and watch after this if you want. But if you don't do that, there's plenty of free information on the internet. Here is your game plan for the next 7 days. The first thing you're going to do is actually learn how SMMA and digital marketing operates. You're going to learn how and what you're actually going to be doing for these businesses. This should only take you a day or two to learn. Right after that, you are going to learn how to run meta ads. Since you're going to be running ads for these businesses, you need to learn how to run the ads, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to learn how SMMA and digital marketing works, and then we are going to learn how to run meta ads and understand the different business models within SMMA, different guarantees you can run, etc., etc. We'll talk about that soon. But your first week goal, write this down. Learn how to run ads and learn how SMMA and digital marketing actually works. This is what we're doing in the first week. Now, here is your day 7 to 14 plan of action. Here's what to do in the second week, essentially. In your second week, after you've actually learned how SMMA works and how to actually run ads, pick your niche. What type of businesses am I actually going to help out? In my 4-hour guide, I have a whole segment dedicated to, over 80 different niches that you can look at yourself. But my guideline is choose a niche that you have some sort of personal relation to boost that momentum. If you're working a trade apprenticeship right now, you might be working at Woolies, whatever. If you're working a trade apprenticeship as an electrician, focus on electrical companies. You might be able to sign your boss as your first client. So pick your niche. After you've picked your niche, there's plenty of videos. I have a video in my free guide about how to pick your niche, how to pick the best niches. But pick your niche, create your brand name and logo. So how you're going to create your brand name and logo is, chat GPT for the name, get some name ideas until you find something you like. Just tell it, I am creating a digital marketing agency within the niche of whatever niche you're in. Give me some potential brand names. It'll give you plenty. And then you want to go on Canva and create your logo. After that, we want to set up the backend system, set up your email, your website, your Instagram profile. This should take you through to week 3. So by the end of 2 weeks, you've learned how digital marketing agency works. You've learned how to run ads, and you've actually created a business. You have created a business in 2 weeks. Good job. After these 2 weeks, this is what we are going to do in week 3. We are still under a month right now. So the next step is to craft an irresistible offer. Now, what an irresistible offer is, and what an offer actually is what you are actually selling to these businesses. So why is your offer so good that the business owner cannot say no? Now, from days 14 to 21, you want to research how to actually craft an irresistible offer. I cover that myself. You can look at my free course, whatever. We get you X result in Y days, or we work for free. That's one example. Strong risk. The whole idea is that you want strong risk reversal within your business. So whatever your offer is, you want to make it so that the risk is minimized to the max, if that sort of makes sense. The only reason a business owner would say no to you is because they're scared that they're not going to get an ROI. They're not going to get a return on investment. They don't believe that them paying you $2,000, they're going to make more of that in return. So work on crafting an irresistible offer and get 100% confident in what you're actually offering. This should take you a week max. It should take you even less than that if we're being completely honest. Now that you've crafted your offer, we are going to get straight into outreach. Outreach is going to be where the money's made. The start of week 4, we should be getting straight into making money now. Here is how we're going to do that. So as far as the outreach process goes, the first thing you're going to do, by this point, you should know how a digital marketing agency works. You should understand how to run ads. You should have your niche chosen, created your brand name, and you should also have created your offer. You should have an offer to actually offer these businesses, right? So after you have created your irresistible offer, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to cold call businesses. Now, I cover this as well. I have a video on this and you can watch it if you want, but the information's all there on YouTube. Search up how to cold call businesses as an SMMA owner, whatever. The information is all there. I'm just giving you guys a timeline for executing it. So after you've learned how to actually cold call businesses, what you want to do is you want to go on Google Sheets. You want to get a whole list of these businesses and you just want to call. You want to pick up the phone and dial. You need to be doing 20 to 30 cold calls per day, at least. That is a bare minimum. You know, put it this way, every single day, call 25 to 30 businesses. Find 25 to 30 businesses to call tomorrow. Do the same thing tomorrow. We can talk more about how to actually find these businesses, but this is a guide. Again, I can show you guys how to do that in a different video, but as I said, you can search it up on YouTube easy enough. Just search up how to lead scrape, blah, blah, blah. How to find businesses to call in SMMA. That is how you're going to do that. From there, after you've done these cold calls, you want to book consultation calls with these business owners. From there, by this point, we are touching up on a month now, and you hopefully should land your first client. Now, by a month's time, hopefully you have landed your first client. The goal with that, with the cold calling, is essentially this is what it looks like. After you've learned how the business operates and you've created your own business and you've created your brand, you're going to start cold calling businesses. If that makes sense, you're going to start cold calling these businesses and then you're going to book them onto a consultation call. And from the consultation call, you are going to get the payment and you're going to start working with them. And this is how it works. Cold calling and then consultation call and then service delivery. So after you do that initial call where you're just reaching out to the business, you get on a call with the business owner, you sell the service, and then from there, what happens is you essentially start running the ads for them, start making them more money. Now, this is the goal. But through this whole period of time, you should be rinse and repeating. Outreach, outreach, outreach. After you've learned how the business runs, you need to just be pumping outreach. I know it's not fun. I know it's not a shiny object. It's not dressed in a crown and a robe. But look, the work that gets results is never pretty. So keep that in mind. Just pump the outreach. If you're not having any luck at all with the niche you've chosen after, 100 or so calls, then trust me, choose a different niche and move on from it. Make sure it meets the criteria that I have with the niche selection checklist, but that's how that goes. Now, the process after you've closed your first client within the first month. What do we do after that? From days 45 to 90, we should be working on just scaling. If you've already signed a client in whatever niche you're in, that should show you that you can do it. And that is the goal of signing your first client, proving to yourself that you have been able to make money online. Hopefully, within a month, we have made that first bit of money online. Now, the process after that is simple. Keep pumping your outreach out and manage the clients you're already working with. So make sure your daily outreach is still high. You're still doing these cold calls. Maybe since you've made some money, you could get your friend to do these cold calls if you don't want to do it. But make sure the daily outreach volume is high. If anything, after you've signed your first client, you've shown yourself that the niche you've chosen wasn't a bad idea. You should be outreaching to more and more every day. Go from 25 to 30 a day to 50 a day to 100 a day. If you don't want to do it, get your friend to do it. But make sure the daily outreach stays high. From there, what you should be focusing on is making sure you can actually deliver the service. Make sure you're running good ads, master the client fulfillment side of things so that the people that are paying you $1,000, $2,000 per month are actually happy that, I'm paying this guy $2,000 per month, but that's fine because he's making me $5,000 every month in return. Make sure you're delivering a good service. That is how you sustain long-term growth. So that is what you are going to do in that regard. Keep the daily outreach volume high, master your client fulfillment, and stack your clients. Here's the thing, guys. If you sign 5 clients in the same month, $2,000 a month, you have done $10,000 in that month. Now, if we look at this process from day 30, if you have outreached from day 30, let's say from day 30 you have no clients, you have 60 days left to essentially make $10,000 a month with the knowledge and business you have just started up, the knowledge you have acquired to start that business. 60 days, you have to convince 5 people to pay you $2,000 and you've made your first 10K. That means once every 12 days, you have to get a $2,000 payment from someone. It doesn't sound that hard, does it? And let's say you're doing 25 cold calls a day. 25 times 12, 300 calls. That means out of every 300 calls you're taking, you have to get a payment from one of them. That's a 0.3% conversion rate. You can do it, bro. I truly believe that you can do it. Now, you now have the blueprint. Go back on this video, wherever point you're at. If you're at day 7, look at what we're doing next. I just wanted to make a simple blueprint with a complete timeline on exactly what you need to do. That was the goal of this video. Now, the only difference between the person who makes $10,000 and the person who doesn't is execution. Because the reality is 90% of you guys will watch it and do nothing. In that pool as well, some of you guys might stick to it for a week and make nothing. You might stick to it for 2 weeks and make nothing and give up. 10%, and I'd say even less than 10%, will actually execute, and this video will change their life. And you know what? If it's even 1% and this gets 1,000 viewers, that means 10 people's lives have changed. But look, man, I can give you all the information that you need to get to $10,000 a month, but the reality is that I can't execute for you, bro. I can't hold your dick while you piss. I can't do the execution. I can give you all the information. You're still the one that has to execute. The real question I have for you, bro, is now that I've given you the information, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the 90% of people that, do nothing? Or are you going to be the 10% or 1% that actually act and change their life from watching this video? I'm going to let you make that choice, but that is going to be it for today. Obviously, if you guys do want to join the Apex, 10K a month in 6 months guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to plug that shit in, but I got to do it. If you want to make a guaranteed 10K a month within the next 6 months, you can join the Apex. You can DM me on Instagram down below. But all of that aside, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and I hope it helped you. All of that aside, I hope you guys actually execute from this information. God bless all of you guys. Have a great day.